Hello, everybody. Happy July 4th weekend. So, I wanted to come on here today and have a little chit chat about long distance relationship. Good or bad idea, some coping skills, some coping habits on how to stay faithful in a long distance relationship. I've been there for a couple of years. Welcome on board. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Your sister is not feeling too well today, but I wanted to just come hang around with you on this page and have a little chit chat on long distance relationship. Something I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while. So I decided to just hop in here, hop on here today to talk a little bit about it. We'll see how far we go with it, and then it will determine whether I'll probably have like a part two talking on the topic, depending on how far we go with it today. I want to just check to see who is there. Oh, yeah. Can you leave me a comment so I know who is watching? Then just leave me a comment so I know who is watching, or just say hello and tell me where you're watching from if you don't mind. That way I can see who is watching. Yeah, I have my phone here too, so I can respond to comments. I can keep it interactive. Happy July 4th weekend. I know I'm in a strange place right now, right? If you've never seen me in my I've never been in this particular environment. In fact, in my bedroom, doing a video because I'm not feeling too well. I have a cold. I have a cold, little cold, so I'm trying to rest up. But I still wanted to just come have this little chit chat here with you all. Because, like I said, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a little while. So, long distance relationship, is it a good or a bad idea? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the coping habits that can help? That's what we're going to be talking on today. So, long distance relationship, you could be even in the same city. No, not really likely, but let's just say you guys could be living maybe even in the same country, but you're in a long distance relationship. You could be living just far apart, living in different cities, living in different states, but in the same country, different cities, different states, different provinces or regions. So then that makes your relationship, a long distance one. You're living apart. So in this video, I'm really concerned or really covering committed relationships. I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. That's really not part of the things that I encourage. So I'm talking about committed relationship, like you people are in a courtship, you're dating, you're planning to get married, or that's really what I'm talking about. Or you're even married, but you're living apart. So that is the focus. When I talk about a long distance relationship, I'm not talking about a boyfriend and a girlfriend kind of stuff, because I believe in committed relationships. So I guess, yeah, I wanted to just make that clear because just so we know, we're talking more about it. So a good or bad idea to be in a long distance relationship. Does it work? Does it even work? Nowadays, I think it's a very common, it's very common nowadays. Very common nowadays to find people involved in long distance relationship. I think social media has made that very has made that very true, because a lot of people, I mean, it's happening more and more often that some people just meet themselves, on social media, and before you know it, they're in a relationship. And I'm going to be sharing my personal experience. Okay, I'm going to be sharing my story so that you can know that I've actually been there and done that. I've been there for a couple of years and done that. So, and it did work out, by the way. Yes. Obviously, right? Yeah. Because if you haven't figured by now, I am married. I'm happily married. You may not tell because I don't have no rings in my hand. That's just my personal choice. It's just my personal choice. I don't carry it along. Like, I don't necessarily carrying it all the time or this and that. I believe in real life than just things, or necessarily things that are just symbols. The real actual life is what matters than just these symbolic things. Yeah. But some people carry all the fattest rings around, fattest, most expensive rings around, and the marriage does not last past a couple of months. So, anyways, just an aside. So, good or bad idea? For me, it depends. It depends. Like I said, long distance relationship, it does work for a lot of people. It may not work for some people. Yeah, because we are all different. The way people feel loved, some people feel loved in different ways. Somebody, a long distance relationship might just be a completely bad idea for someone, but it completely be a great idea for another person. So, but generally speaking, does it work? I mean, can it work? I mean, of course it can. Of course it can work. And it has worked for a lot of people. It has worked for me, actually. So, as a matter of fact, long distance relationship, what we're talking about today. So, like I said, I'm going to be talking about, yeah, as you join here, I said if you can just leave me a comment, a hello. I greet you all in the name of Jesus, in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Welcome to Be the Light Christian page. My name is Silverlyn. I'm your sister Silverlyn. I coordinate this page. I am just, we're just here communing as friends. We also have a YouTube channel with the same name, Be the Light Christian. It's just a community page, you all. We are here as lighters, striving to be a light, even in the midst of darkness. This dark world that we are in, doing our little, every little that we can, to shine the light of God that is in us, to let that light shine and be a positive influence in the lives of others. All right? Okie dokie. So back to our relationship talk. Is it a good or a bad idea? Can it work? Can a long distance relationship work? Yes, it can work. Like I said, it can work for others, but may not necessarily work for, may not work for others. So it depends on, I guess I should say, it depends on some factors, and maybe at your level of tolerance uh, about certain things. But it has worked for me. Yes, it has. Pardon me, let me shut my door here. Now, people, as soon as I come on board, um, help me share this video. We're just having a discussion here, you all. Like I said, I usually don't. This is actually the first time I'm having this in my in this environment. And pardon me if you hear me, I'm sneezing, coughing. I'm actually not feeling very well. I'm having a little cold. Just a cold, not cold. That tea I'm drinking, sorry, is supposed to help me with the cold I'm having. So pardon me if you see me sneezing or coughing or something. Just a cold that I have. A cold. No, do na corona back. Whoa, they make man no cough again. Man no get kata, man no get cough. Then they say kata and cough, they no be they exist before corona. I beg, na carry man that nonsense go. You act cost more than once, then so people they just suspect you. Ah, chai. God have mercy upon us. So I said as you join, please leave me a comment. Say hello. Can you tell me where you're watching from, please? Let me know who is on board. I can't see until you leave a comment. And thank you for the. Oh, did I see somebody throwing a high? Oh, oh, my little sister is on board. I see you, Sheldon. Sheldon, my sister Shella. Welcome on board, Petit Sir. Ah, how you doing now? Nice to see you. I like this platform so because I get to reconnect with a lot of people. Thank you for joining. So long distance relationship. It works for some people. It may not work for some other people. It's very, it can actually, like I said, social media is making it a lot easier nowadays, for people to be in a long distance relationship. It's making it a whole lot easier because like you can be in a long in that kind of a relationship and still feel like, I mean, for the to an extent you still feel like you're really close to the person, because I mean technology has made it so easy that you can, I mean, like you and I are talking like this, right? Isn't this long distance stuff? Like you can be any part of the world and be able to chat and communicate just like very normally like that. So technology has made it so easy that people are hooking up online these days like very, very easily. So it's something that is becoming more and more common. And it's gonna continue just like that. So so it's gonna become even more imperative that people who are in this kind of relationship learn to know how to deal with it, develop some habits that is gonna help them cope, better with it because of course it has its own challenges. All right. It comes with its own challenges. As much as technology has made it easier, like that easy, you can just talk and video chat. There is still an aspect that is missing, right? There is still that physical touch. That physical personal touch is still missing, and there's no way that can happen long distance. So it has its bunch of challenges. So learning how to cope with those challenges becomes very imperative. So myself, all right, I'll just share you a little story of my personal story, with a long distance relationship. Like I said, I am married right now, happily married. I'm blessed with 3 kids, but my journey started it started from a long distance relationship. All right. So started off, I was here in the US, and my now husband was in Europe, but I knew him before he got to Europe. We are all coming from the same city back home, Kumba. We are all coming from the same city, Kumba. So I knew him from Kumba, but really very, very casually, very casually, just like a business kind of relationship, where I used to work, he used to, like, so it was just really like a business, how you know your customers, on your at your business place. So that's how the relationship was. But he was a pretty popular guy that, when he enters somewhere and they be like, now Uncle Komeda, all man know he, for Kumba. So all man know him for Kumba because, yeah, he was a journalist who has a radio program that goes on every now and then. Everybody knows Uncle Komega love for Kumba. So I'll not be surprised when people watch it and be like, I know you too. So yeah, so knew him then, and actually I had been following his program. I was one of his audio listeners. That listener, because some of people doing that. So audio listeners, they only listen for background, like they never call for like people the program the day, so people they call, talk, they call, share their this and that. I was very naive then. I don't know if that was the reason why I never really, because that was an open program. It's a Christian radio station that usually made open lines for people to call and greet and shower blessings on others. But I never really felt pumped to do that. But I was very like a really fervent listener to that program, to that his program, and even like that radio station as a whole. So, anyways, so I knew him like that, but he didn't know me in person, like through the radio stuff. We knew, in person, like physically through my workplace where I used to work, but just very casually, like I said. So now, thank God for social media. After me, coming abroad, leaving Cameroon, and he too left Cameroon and was, somewhere in Europe, and I'm here in the US. Thank God for social media. Somehow, we reconnected on Facebook, just like Facebook friends. Yeah, I don't know if I should say reconnected, but like just like find ourselves again on Facebook and be like, oh hi, and one thing led to the other, and before we knew it, we were having interest towards each other, and boom, here we are. Here we are since 2013. We've been married since 2013. We're counting. Okay, we're counting. So come December of this year, we're gonna be 8 years in marriage. In marriage. Yep. Started off like a reconnection on Facebook. So online, social media is helping in a lot of ways to reconnect people. Okay, to connect and reconnect people. So don't freak out or be like extremely scared to say, oh, not just for social media, not just social media friend, not just social media. Some good things can actually come out of it. It just depends who you're talking to. It just depends, what you're looking for in each other and if that is God's will for you. So it just depends. So now, what are some of the challenges, that can come as a result of that? As a result of being in a long distance relationship. As you're watching this, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I like to always keep my, little chit chat very interactive and like to hear people's thoughts, people's experiences. If they don't mind sharing, I like to hear them. Oh, I've been missing here. Oh. So don't comment on the high day. I've been only seen her once. Say hi. Sherry Coco, I see you. You are on board. Sherry Coco, una pray for me. Oh. Yeah, sister, call the show a poke. You see me, I can line up for bed today, so do it in. Una pray for me. That my summer kind of cold way they do me now summertime, so when you don't show my picking, then I mean I like carry am. How body no? How things dey play, Coco? How say everything dey well? My cough drop. I almost have canceled the live today, but I think this is a little therapeutic for me. I can hang around small, to talk small. Hopefully, I'll be better. Actually, I'm a little better than I was yesterday. So, what are some of the challenges? Challenges of a long distance relationship. Like I said already, obviously, some of the challenges are, the absence of that physical connection, Oh, oh, I have a very wonderful, wonderful friend and previous co-worker who has just joined, and I'm excited. You are welcome in the building, sis Felicia. Felicia. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a friend, not the co-worker I was thinking. I have another one who used to be a former co-worker, but yeah, I know this is the other one. Okay. I have a Felicia Jenkins that I was thinking about, but Felicia, I welcome you. I welcome you to our page. I'm so excited you've joined. We're talking, having a little chit chat today on long distance relationship. Okay, so now we're talking about what are some of the challenges, and I'm really keeping this interactive, wanting to hear your thoughts and your experiences if you don't mind sharing. So talking about long distance relationships, some of the challenges, if it's something that that can even work or not, or what are some of the challenges, and what are some of the coping skills, coping strategies, coping habits that we can develop, if you are in that kind of a situation, just to make it work. So that's what we're talking on. And I was talking on the challenges. What are some of the challenges? I'm saying the absence of that physical touch, makes it very challenging for a lot of people. As easy as technology has made it, that you can communicate via video like this, via audio, but that absence of the physical, that physical presence, having that physical touch, the lack of intimacy, if you're already like in a married relationship, that can make it really challenging. Like that makes it challenging. And also just the fact that you really cannot say you want to really observe somebody, right? You want to observe them. Like you're in this dating relationship and you want to like get to know each other very well. But, being thousands of miles away, there's only so much that you can, I mean, there's very little that you can do to like really get to know that person. Like, there's very little that you can do, right? So that brings, makes a challenge in that regard, because you don't know where they're at. They can tell you where they're at, but only God knows where they really are. So you just like you in that kind of, you just have to like trust each other. It's just a matter of trust at that, at that point. And then it goes to like what's the level of trust that you have towards each other. you know if there is very little or no trust, it starts to make things go sour. Oh, I'm so glad to have you, Felicia, sister Felicia. It's been a long time, long time. I don't know if you are back in Madison or you're still away. Pardon me. Yeah, long distance relationships. Some of the challenges too could be just because you are not there with your girl or your guy. You may, before you know it, you may have people who don't mind their business, who go around, checking your checking your man out and coming behind to be a, sometimes even a very close friend who may happen to be like living about where you're. I'm telling you, this world is crazy. All kinds of crazy things happen in relationships. You will have people, pardon me, you all. I already told you that I'm very down today. You have people who will not mind their business. They'll go around checking your spouse out to come and tell you, to be like agents trying to tell you everything that is happening with them. Whether it's a lie, only God knows. You know, and before you know, you can believe a lie from somebody who is actually there. You may think they are a friend, they are trying to keep an eye on your spouse or your to-be spouse for you, whereas they may just be there. They just listen to the truth as a Gary. Oh, they'll tell you your girl has done this, he or she has done this, has done that. Yeah, I saw them at this place today. I saw them. Like before you know that hearsay, a lot of hearsay, just because you're absent, like you're not physically present. So you may tend to, if you're not careful, listen from outsiders may just bring a hindrance into your relationship. So you want to be really careful when you're in a long distance relationship. You want to be careful who you're listening to. So I was just like really talking about the challenges. Yeah, that lack of the physical presence is like the big elephant in the room. So those of you, if you know somebody who is in a long distance relationship or you are, and you don't mind sharing, I like to hear what is most challenging for you, like, or what are some of the challenges that you're facing. I want us to dwell a little bit more on this before we go into some of the coping habits or coping strategies that you can develop, or you can, maybe you already have, you can continue to exercise to continue to build on your relationship. What are some of the challenges that you're facing? Or maybe you know someone who is in a long distance relationship, or you've seen or heard of an experience of some people. What are some of the challenges that you think happens in a long distance relationship? Yeah, I hear say it's a big one. People gossiping about your spouse, coming to tell you what your spouse has done or has not done. It's a big one. Just because you're not there, oh, they say they saw him here, they saw him with another girl, they saw her with another guy, blah 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 blah. And before you know, you're stressing over some things that may or may not be true. You know, trust is also another a real challenge. You all trust, because it's easier to trust somebody you are physically, you're that is you're physically present with. At least you can know their daily routine. If they're gone, you know where they're gone to. If they are gone, need something. uh, a shirt for Shalom. Over there, mama. Did he make a mess? Oh, a short. Okay. I thought you said a shirt. Thank you for being very gentle. Oh, yeah, I was talking about trust. That's easy to trust somebody that, that you're living with. Like it's a lot easier because you know their daily routine, and when they're gone, you know where they're gone to. At least for those who really keep the communication lines open, and they tell you, you know, if they're going to work, you know they're going to work. If they're back, they're back. You like you can, for the most part, you know where each other is up to. For the most part, I said for the most part because you all, some people can be very creepy. Like even you're living with them, you never know when they're gone for an hour where they're gone to. But for the most part, yeah, the person you're living with, you have a lot, like a whole, a lot more control over that versus when you are, living in another city, in another state, in another country, and they are in a whole different country. It's a lot more challenging. So trusting that person that you're, living with, it's a lot easier because then you easily get to know their routine, and you get to know what they can do and what they can't do, for the most part. But the person that you've only met on say you probably only met on social media, like you've never really known them in person, and so you don't really know them because you only know what they're telling you. Then you are in a relationship. I tell you, it's a big deal. Like really getting to trust that person it's a really huge deal. Like, yeah, it takes a whole lot to be able to like completely trust who you're talking to. So trust could be a very big challenge. Even though, yeah, some people still find themselves, in that kind of relationship, and they still end up being together as life partners. I guess it really depends who you're talking to, how committed you people are. Oh, I think I see what you were talking about. I think I see that small tree, see the thing they break, then it come back. Hmm. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm noticing that because of that too. Even my comment that they kind of break before they come. So I need to see am right away. I dey see the comment and I like after the fact. Again, happy July 4th weekend, you all. To all my Americans out there, happy July 4th weekend. Tomorrow is July 4th, and that's our Independence Day. So to all my fellow Americans out there, happy July 4th weekend. I hope you have a fantastic one tomorrow. Imagine Koko, you say, okay, you say, cold don't catch him again. Well, I tell you, say, a second round, this second wave. I say second wave, so I remember all the second wave of Koro, where, what they be say second wave. Oh my God. A second wave, then no, me, I ever be the last person. Because when it start picking them, as I take care of picking them, oh my goodness. Then I mean, the last end for me. So seriously, serious second wave, so don't be the house. All the so don't better than me now. I still deal with that. Thank you, thank you. Well, I go try for the refer you to so that I see a comment them like right I see a comment immediately so I can respond to them, or I can if I need to comment on them, I can get it right right when they are sent. Thank you. Yeah, I was saying it's a whole lot easier, you know, that trust issue. To trust somebody who is so far away, I'm telling you, even beside the fact that you might have just met on social media, there are some people who have even said they have even been married, and now got separated because of, for some reason they are, I mean, I don't mean like separated, like separating the marriage, but I mean like they now live apart. For some reasons, one person moved to a different place and they're now apart. I mean, like trusting that person being apart, your spouse being apart for however long is also a challenge. It's also a challenge. You know, I am telling you, it takes the grace of God. It takes the grace of God. Yeah, I was sharing my story. Oh, I didn't quite finish that my story. So there's a whole lot there that relates to this. So yeah, I was saying we met, we connected like that and we are married. Oh gosh, I really fast forwarded that story. Oh my god, I'm not a good storyteller. So when we got married, right before we even got married, so we were in this long distance relationship. He was, when we reconnected on Facebook, he was in Europe and I'm here in Madison, Wisconsin. We were, we're dating in this relationship for how long? For a little over a year actually. That, we were in this long distance relationship, dating and like committedly dating, and down the road we started planning for our wedding. So, we were in this long distance relationship for a little over a year, let me just say a year. Then now we made plans and got married, went to Cameroon. All of us went back to Cameroon, got married. I came back over here and he was still, of course, you know how the process goes. I have to come back over here before starting the paperwork for him to join me over here. So after our marriage, came here and had to do the filing, and we stayed for another. You know how that process goes. Oh my God! Now it's taking a whole lot longer for some people, and it makes me feel like God really helped us out, because I came back here and guess what? Came back pregnant. Few months after I came back, realized I was pregnant. It was not until our daughter, was 13 months old. So 1 year and 1 month before my husband got here. Okay. Before my husband got here. So that was close to now, plus the whole time I was pregnant. So it was about 2 years after we were married that we were apart. All right. Plus another 1 year we were apart dating. After marriage we're still apart. Only had that short. I was only there for a month when we went to Cameroon for our marriage. Only spent a month together. Then now, after all that high vibe of having honeymoon, we had to separate again because I had to come back. But I continue all the bambi work, all the warfare. They don't give you more than 1 month. May you go out. I know, second wave. No, I had to come back. So you see that the overall we were apart for like 3 years, like altogether 3 years period that we were apart. So that whole time, how did we cope? Like how do you cope? You all, if you are a single mom out there, I hear you. All right, I hear you. If you are a single mom out there, I hear you, because I I lived the life of a single mom for about 2 years, and I I have every reason to commend, to applaud the single moms out there, because just for those 2 years, I feel like that was just a little tip of an iceberg for what single moms, who are for the most part of their lives dealing with. That's what I had, was just a little tip of the iceberg. So I applaud you. I applaud you out there who are single moms, or or single dad. It's not biscuit. It's not easy. I tell you, not popcorn, because was here. You're dealing with husband being away. I'm really just kind of elaborating on some of the challenges that people actually face and sharing my own personal experience. All right. You're pregnant, you're going about, doing all this Bambi work, them doing work, juggling work in school. Oh my God. You are running from one job to the other, pushing your stomach, and coming back from school. Everything we're juggling here. I tell you. Then you come back home. In addition to all of that stress, you also are emotionally kind of stressed because your spouse is away, right? So it's not easy. It takes a whole lot of commitment and determination to make that relationship work, for it to actually succeed. It takes a whole lot of determination, a whole lot of commitment. You have to be committed to it. You have to be committed to make it work. Okay? Relationship like that, marriage, it's all about two people who are committed to make it work. Yeah. It's about two people who are committed every day to make it work. Because it's not all, even after you're all married, it's not going to be all rosy. You are committed to making it work every day. Because at every level, he has his own wahala. So I was pregnant the whole time. My husband was away. I had the baby. Baby's first birthday, daddy was not there because he could not, he could not be. He wished he could, but he could not. The birthday passed, another month rolled around, before we were finally able to have him here. So that whole time, how do you deal with all of that? How do you deal with all of that? So now I'm gonna go into talking about how do you really make this long distance, all these challenges, how do you deal with them? Or what are some of the things that can make it a little easier for people who are in a long distance relationship? What are some of the coping strategies? What are some of the habits that maybe some coping habits that you can develop to make it, a little easier? So I'm going to be sharing just my thoughts, and I'd like to hear your contributions, your thoughts as well. Because we are really all here I'm not here to just to come and lecture some people. I'm just sharing my little experiences, and also want to hear your thoughts and opinions and your experiences, so that we can all learn together. This is all what, this is what this is about. Okay, so that for my experiences, it encourages some other people that may be in a similar situation, or are kind of heading towards that. So, number one for me, some of the things that help us, I want to say communication. was huge for us. Communication, frequent communication was huge. I think it really, helped us a huge deal. Yeah, you really want to keep that communication lines open. Like you want to be on top of it. You want to be on top of it. You want to know where your other person is. I don't mean like start start chasing them like a police or like where are you at, where are you at, where are you at. No, I just mean like just like really checking on each other, checking on each other. How is your day going? How are you having today? Or what are you having today for breakfast? What are you having for lunch? What are you having for dinner? What's up to today? Just like checking on them and just like so you kind of know what's up to each other, like on a daily basis. You want to know what's up to them. Yeah, that's it. Having that frequent communication like that really keeps that relationship. It keeps you bonded. It keeps you bonded, and you continue to bond by being connected like that. And another big thing about that is that you really that's how you really get to know. When you communicate, you really get to know somebody better, because then they talk, you communicate, then you get to like know what the other person is thinking. You get to really know the way they perceive things, their perspectives. You really get to know how they understand things. You get to really know each other. Okay. And so the more you know each other like that, then you get to know what how to deal with each other. It takes you really knowing a person, knowing what their love language is, what their likes and their dislikes are. That's why the scripture says we should deal with each other with understanding. Okay? With understanding. When you talk a lot, you understand yourselves better. You understand yourselves better, and so helping your relationship. And hence helping your relationship. The other thing you have to be very aware of, or be very careful about the friends, the kind of friends that you keep. Okay, when you're in a long distance relationship, you want to be very careful about the kind of friends that you keep. Okay, if you're hanging around with the kind of friends that are always, that I hear say, I talk say, those kind of friends who are there. Let me tell you something. If somebody is always there telling you, talking about other people to you, always telling you what this person is up to, oh, this person has done this person has done that, you have to be careful, because when you are not there, that's how they're going to talk about you to the other person. When you are not there, the same way they are bringing other people's businesses and making it a topic of the day with you, as soon as you are not there, that's how you are going to be a topic of the day with the next person that they meet. So be careful about hanging around gossipers, people who are just always minding other people's businesses. Because people like that, they're always looking for stories to come and tell you what they have heard. Somebody told them that, oh, I saw you don't, people like that, you don't want to be telling them all details about your life. You don't want to be telling them about that, your relationship, because I tell you, some people, now people, they always find people, they are guiding them for truth and sound for the, yeah. The heart of man can be desperately wicked. So you want to really be mindful of the kind of friends that you keep when you're in a long distance relationship. Be very mindful. There are some things you don't say everything to every person. Okay, you don't say everything to every person about your life, because, and don't do that thing, say, oh, I'm only confiding in this one person. Then you meet up the second person, you say, oh, I just tell only you, ma tell only you now about this thing. Like in your mind, you say, oh, I just tell only you. Before you want to know, you meet another number three person, you say, I just tell only you this thing. Before you realize, you used to say you don't tell four people about this the relationship. You never know which one of them has a bad heart, who go around, telling you stories that don't exist about your spouse. Maybe just because they are jealous or they envy being in that relationship like you are. Before you know it, they just can't put some something agabi, or they just do everything to mess things up. So you want to be careful about the kind of friends that you keep, or if, just who you're telling your personal stories, your personal life matters to. There are some things in this life you really just want to keep to yourself. So I talked about communication, some of the things that can help. Those are things that helped me. Okay, we communicated a lot, and oh my god, talking about this friend stuff. Okay, hmm, it was big too for me. Like I'm glad that I just kind of stayed myself, because I'm telling you all, those of you, having living here and having a roommate is a very common thing. Okay, I live and had roommates, that we share an apartment with. So if you're not careful, you can have some people that are very close to you that just their lifestyle may be a hindrance. Like their lifestyle could be very distracting for you. So you want to be very careful. Like you want to stay focused and really know, what you want for your life, and not let peer pressure. Okay, you don't want to let friends and peers around pressure you into things that are not beneficial for your relationship. Peer pressure is a huge one. I'm telling you. You'll be in that relationship. Some of you watching me like this, you know what I'm talking about, peer pressure. Like you know that you have your committed relationship, you have already, committed yourself to this relationship, but because you're living apart, you have this whole lot of a bunch of friends who are jumping around, attending every party that nobody invites them to, everywhere they're going, and they every time they want to appear, look like the hottest girls in town, you know and you who know that you are already committed, you are out of the market, you are no longer for sale. You don't want to try to keep up with just all my single ladies. Okay? All my ladies, they're doing their single lady stuff, single boy stuff. You don't want to try to keep up with what they're doing, because you are out of the market. And so you better start behaving like someone who is out of the market. You better start practicing your lifestyle like someone who is out of the market, because you're already committed to your relationship, to your spouse who is away. You want to be very careful, because I'm telling you, trying to keep up with those, single girl stuff is like when the Bible says we should flee away from every appearance of evil. God means what He's saying there. Okay, they say flee away from every appearance of it. God know what to really talk, because if you no wan drink, you no mimbo, no go dey hang around bar, no go dey turn around mimbo place. If you no wan taste you mimbo, no go just dey loiter around mimbo place. Okay, na small pineapple wey I fit talk am. So when the single girls and single boys are jumping around, having all want to appear in the hottest way possible, and doing their things, trying to attract because they try for saying at their market. Yeah, they try for saying at their market because they are still single. They're trying to. It's their sales strategy. It's a marketing strategy that they are doing. So you who is not in the market, you're out of the market. You don't want to be, hanging around doing exactly the same things they're doing. Otherwise, before you know, you fall. Yes, before you know, you fall. By that I mean, before you know it, you're cheating on your spouse because you mingled yourself amongst the kind of crowd. Okay, when they say evil communication, it corrupts good manners. Okay, if you the kind of crowd where you follow, you mingle yourself like that before you know. If you mingle, if goat over mingle itself with sheep, then it will become like sheep. If goat over mingle itself inside among sheep, it go start to behave exactly like sheep. So that's a word to wise. That is one thing that helped me. I'm telling you these things. I had friends, roommates. What I go knock my door, Sivali, you know the go. This one day today, this one day today. And I'll be more committed to like just keeping my appointment with my fiance then. Just keeping the appointment, like we had to talk this time, we had to communicate this time. So that I can just stay focused. Yeah. Be yourself and know what you want of the life. Be yourself. Know what you want. Because wait where you want them. Maybe you don't really God already give you that, it already hook you up that way. So now some person prayer point that it is said that market will find my go hook you up. So don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by people who are doing their marketing. So staying focused and be mindful of the kind of friends you keep is going to help you in your long distance relationship. You don't want to keep gossipers around you. You don't want to be very mindful of the kind of friends you keep. You don't want to keep people who maybe you confine in them something and they turn around, be the ones to sell you off. Okay? So you gotta watch your friends and watch the kind of company that you keep, the kind of communication that you have with them, and the level of mingling that you're mingling with them. Okay? Because you know who you are, you know you're already hooked. So in addition to that, you also want to, so I'm talking about some of the coping strategies. You want to be very prayerful. Yes, you want to be very prayerful about your relationship. You want to hand everything in the hands of God and always commit it in the hands of God. The scripture says, whatever we commit in his hands, is well committed. In Proverbs, he says we should trust in him with all our heart, that we should lean not on our own understanding, but in all our ways and not acknowledge him, and he shall direct our paths. So you want to commit it all in God's hands and continue to, always pray about that relationship. Always pray about it and pray for it. Pray for its success. Keep praying until you get in. And after you get in, you continue, the dimension of the prayer only increases. And you continue to pray. Okay? We want to keep it in God's hand. Because putting it in God's hand, that's how you keep the devil out of it. You keep the devil out of it by keeping it in God's hand. Oh, you. Wait, don't be towards evening, so wait, don't be towards evening, so now we do that course that they really start to show my poke. Like you just start to get that small more chills. We're wrapping this up soon. Yeah, we're already talking on the some of the coping habits that you can develop or you can practice to help you in your long distance relationship. So I talked about communication, about minding the kind of friends you keep, and also watching the people you confine in, like how much you're telling other people about your relationship, and even who you're telling it to in the first place. And also just staying focused, avoid distraction, avoid people who can, excuse me, ma connect that my battery though. I get indication say that battery don't. Ma go bring my charger, sorry. They talk on some of the coping strategies and things that we can help. Some things that can help you, in sustaining your long distance relationship. And for this long distance relationship, for some people, it could actually a child or children may be involved. We'll be talking about a situation where a child or children are involved and one of the parents is away. So that communication becomes even more important. So you want to be really talking to those kiddos very frequently. For kiddos, that's like the most you can do. You want to be communicating with them very frequently and also be there for them when they have special occasions. When they have special occasions, some things are coming up, things that are special to them. You want to be there, even on video, to like really be there, be present for them at those times. It goes a long way for kids, as much as you possibly can. Yeah. So what else can you do, to deal with all these challenges of a long distance relationship? So we already said you have to be praying about it. And when you really know your partner, you just need to have some level of trust for them too. Yeah, when you know your partner, you really know your partner, you need to have some level of trust so that you don't be having headache every day. So person can say, I hear say this, I hear say this person go up, it can down, yam done, yam no done. You start get immediate headache. You start get immediate headache before you know you are stressed for the next week because of I hear say. Then at the end of the day, you get to find out that that was even just nothing. You know, so you need to have some level of trust for the person that you're committing yourself to, in this relationship. Because when you do, it really goes a long way to make things a lot easier for you. It takes a whole lot of headache away. So you don't have to believe every lie that you hear because you know who your spouse or your to-be spouse is. So that you don't even, when you know them to some extent, you don't need no people to tell you nothing about them. Okay? So you don't give yourself a headache or a heart attack because somebody said they had this, they had that. Because I tell you, at the end of the day, only two of you are gonna be in that relationship. All those third parties telling you, I hear say stuff, they are not gonna be part of it. So you get to learn about your partner, understand them very well, so that you can really develop. Because this trust of a thing is earned, like it's built over time. So as you are committed in that relationship over time, you get to develop more and more trust as you deal with the person more and more. So there's a good level of trust, which should be for a person that you are committed to getting married to. You should really have a good amount of trust, if I may just say it like that. You should have a really good amount of trust in them. Because if not, then I don't know how you're even going to cope even after the marriage. Because just because you are now married and living together does not mean that a person who had a terrible lifestyle would automatically change. They would not automatically change. So knowing the person and knowing that, oh, this is what you're settling for, and trusting that is very important. It's very important so that some things should not become any surprise, like should not be so surprising when they surface down the road. Trying to just keep up with the if there's any more comments here. It looks like there's none. So what other things, thinking about coping strategies for long distance relationships? So some of the things that, oh, okay, the other things that help us, for us, it was really keeping this relationship to ourselves, yo. It was really keeping it just to ourselves. Like, I mean, like, not even letting family members know about it necessarily, until things were like about to manifest. Okay. Yeah, just keep it to yourself, because I tell you, by the time you start telling a bunch of people, everybody is going to have their own opinion. Everybody is going to have their own opinion, you know, a lot of times that they don't really even know the person you are dealing with. So keep it within yourselves. Keep it within yourselves. And when possible, in this relationship, when possible, if it's possible, maybe you're just living in different cities, then it's possible for people to hook up, to like get to visit each other from time to time. Yeah, you wanna do that. You wanna do that because, yeah, if there's any possibility to visit, to actually get to meet each other from time to time, as much as you can while you're in a long distance relationship, you want to do that. Because I tell you, oh boy, some people can pretend, all right. If all your relationship is just long distance, just maybe just like on social media, all you connect is only on video chats and phone stuff like that, and you never see somebody in person, some people can mask up. Hey, some people are very good at masking up. Okay, masking up. I talk about that, then I remember I have a previous video that I had talked about who is under the mask. Okay, knowing who is under the mask. When I upload this video on YouTube, I'm gonna put a link to that video I'm talking about, who is under the mask. Go watch that video. I will link it here or here, wherever my finger is pointing, if it's the correct direction. I'll link that video, who is under the mask. Some people can mask up. Like they mask up, they have a whole different person after they have completely masked up. Then when they unveil that mask, when you get to meet the person physically, that's when you know the real juju they behind that mask. So if you have the opportunity to meet that person in person, physically present, do as much as you can, as often as you can. Find time for you people to hook up, meet each other, so you get to really know the person physically. and really, so that may really concur for your mind if this is the person you're committing to, so that some things don't become, like a huge surprise if everything was just long distance until marriage. There can be a whole lot of surprises. Oh boy, oh boy. Can you people still hear me? Can anybody still hear me? I just want to make sure that I don't have something that has disconnected here. So, yeah, you want to make sure that, yeah, as much as you can, try to meet the person physically if there is a possibility of doing so. And you want to do that even as often as you can, because like I said, some people can pretend, they can mask up and present this whole different person every time. But when you meet them physically, then you know the real them. Oh yeah, then you get to know the real them. Sometimes even just a couple of hours, when you meet them physically and you get to hang around with them for just a few, half an hour, a couple of hours, you get to really tell more. Like before you know it, you start learning a whole lot more, like different things about them that you did not know. Why just on social media or just on the phone stuff, video chatting? Because things like their temperament, okay, their temperament, you get to know when you hang around them for a few hours and you match their toes muscle and hey, that time you really did know man character. Okay, so whenever possible you want to meet them in person and really get to hang around and know each other more that way as much as you possibly can. And that also helps you guys, it helps you people to bond even the more. Because as much as you people are connected, that butterfly, that love butterfly there, as you people meet like that, it gets to develop even more, you know gets to develop more and more. Yeah, I already mentioned the kids too, that if kids are involved in this long relationship, you really want to keep the communication lines for the kiddos really open. Yeah, be there for them on whatever is special occasions for them. They are graduating or they are having some special days, their birthday, something coming up that is important to them. You really want to be there on those occasions and really make it special for them, because really that's all you can do while you're away. You want to buy them, whatever you can do to make those kind of occasions, those kind of moments special for them. Yeah, so that they for that, don't be away and the beginning not ever know, like before you know it, you are gone for so long that before you know it, they know na some uncle. They know na some uncle and some auntie for quarter, say na their mommy that, na their papa that. Because you've been gone for so long and you're not communicating with them. Yeah, another thing is, this will be my last little tip is for you guys, I mean, even while you're away, when you're meeting, with your spouse or your potential spouse, I can just say it like that, or your to be spouse. When you're hooking up online, you're meeting, yeah, you want to look nice for them. You want to look nice each time you're meeting up, like on video chats. You want to look really nice for them so they get to, I mean, not like fake nice. I'm not talking about that kind of fake nice that's the only time you look nice, and after that moment you did just you did the nasomami for kitchen all the time. No, I really mean like you should have that lifestyle of taking care of yourself. But I mean, like, even when you come on video, you want to look nice for them. So I'm talking about both parties here. So I'm not only talking about the girls looking nice and the men showing up every time like they are just coming from the farm or something. Men needs to also understand that women also like looking neat. Okay, women also admire them more when they look neat and presentable. So yeah, I think if you put some of these things in practice, that's some of the things that helped me. It can definitely go a long way in helping you to in your long distance relationship. Okay, keep trusting God. If you're in or you are like on the verge trying to decide whether you should get into it or not, just even trying to just wondering if it can work, if this is, pray about it, and as God leads you, if you get into it, yeah, just stay focused and keep trusting God for it, and just apply some of these things here and some more that you may also know. And I trust God with you that all shall be well. You know, you're gonna look back, you're gonna be in it and look back like I'm looking back about 8 years back now. Soon to be 8 years. Like I'm looking back and telling you how mine started, long distance like that. So, soon to be 8 years and counting. So, with God, I tell you, everything is possible, especially when it's aligning with God's will for our lives. Okay? Everything is possible. So, I thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking me just as I am today, sniffing my nose around with my little cold. Pray for me that I get better soon. I know it's only a matter of a couple of days. I'll be fine. Trusting God. So I thank you all for watching. Stay blessed, and I pray God continue to bless our unions and continue to perfect all that which concerns us and our loved ones in Jesus' name. Amen. Bye bye. Remember, um, yeah, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, remember to go subscribe. Every Mondays I post on this channel. We talk about spiritual things. Okay, we talk about things that encourages us spiritually. I also discuss financial topics, things that can help us, build our wealth. Financial topics, because if you don't know, I'm a FYI, I'm a finance person, with a finance and accounting background. So I like to share some things that can help us continue to build on, the resources that God has put in our hands, so that we can, so that we don't only have for ourselves, but that we can actually be blessed to a point that we are a blessing to our generation, to more and more people. Okay, because if you are only blessed to that point where you can only feed yourself, that is not enough. God can use us as a channel of blessings to a whole lot, to nations, to the world, to our generation and next generations to come. So as God helps me, I share different financial tips, and I have a whole lot more that I'm planning on. I will soon start talking about different things concerning business wise, side hustle stuff. And as a matter of fact, maybe I should just throw this here, so that as you watch this, I want to hear your opinions. Oh, so I'm planning on. No, this is gonna be too much for this video. Let me leave it here. It will be too much. Maybe I'll say that in my Monday, God willing. Monday is the day that I always upload our financial topics, videos on our finances. We call it Money Mondays. On Wednesdays, we have our Workout Wednesdays. Saturdays like this is our spiritual Saturdays that we share things that can build us up, spiritually, or things that can encourage us in our walk. So, yeah. So be on the lookout. Money Monday, there's gonna be something very interesting coming up. And like I said, if any of these interest you, our Money Mondays, our Workout Wednesdays, our spiritual Saturdays, encouraging ourselves, if any of these interest you, you want to, like and follow us on this page, Be the Light Christian, or also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you know, you stay updated and be on board as we upload new content. Okay. And as you subscribe, don't forget to also tap that notification bell so you always get that alert. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.